When Tommy Robinson emerged from prison in May with a scruffy beard, an outgrown haircut, and a rosary swinging around his neck, it was not merely a personal transformation, it was a calculated symbolic metamorphosis. The self-fashioned martyr of Britain's far right is undergoing a sanctification. No longer just the founder of the English Defence League, he now claims to be a Christian convert, prophet of traditional values, and, according to the tabloids, absurdly, a style icon. And worryingly, he is being listened to. Let's be under no illusion. Robinson's embrace of Christianity is not a private spiritual awakening. It's a political pivot. Surrounded by fringe priests and ex-UKIP figures, he's imported the American playbook of Christian nationalism and rebranded his anti-Muslim activities as a divine mission. According to his ally, Damnee Tomo, this movement stands on Christ, always has, always will. This shift is not accidental. It aligns him with American culture warriors, white evangelical networks, and donors who fund precisely this narrative: the fall of Western civilization, the emasculation of men, the decline of Christianity, and the encroachment of Islam. Robinson's new mantra, lifted straight from the reactionary playbook, is that Christianity built Britain and Islam is destroying it. In classical popular style, Robinson is not simply leading a protest movement, he's manufacturing a myth. And his entourage, including disgraced clerics like Calvin Robinson, is he disgraced or is he simply transformed or translated? Present him as a spiritual, we had dealings in the past. Present him as a spiritual warrior. In prison, we're told he read the Bible and found clarity. What he really found was marketing, of course. To critics, it's theatre. To his followers, it's revelation, and the image is spreading. Young men online are reportedly copying his look, the gaunt aesthetic of persecution. This is the same man who once filmed himself harassing journalists and breaching court orders. Now, with beard and Bible, he presents himself as Britain's St. Paul of the alt-right. We're witnessing the consequences of this rebrand on the streets of Eping, where tensions over a migrant hotel and a serious criminal allegation have become flashpoint for far-right mobilisation. Robinson initially promised to descend on the town with thousands. That threat alone was enough to prompt Essex police to issue dispersal orders, protest restrictions, and a curfew-like lockdown around the Bell Hotel. What followed was predictable: clashes, graffiti, violence, protesters chanting slogans about child protection while launching missiles at police officers. There's no real concern for due process, nor a desire for justice. What is sought is spectacle. Epping, like Southport before it, has become a stage. And Tommy Robinson, this naive individual with, and I know people who like Tommy Robinson, who are friends with Tommy Robinson, and I don't think these people are wrong. This is a boy who's been led off the straight and narrow, and he doesn't really know how to get back onto it. Religion isn't the root. Religion is the content. It's not the route back onto the straight and narrow. As indeed, I can't remember what the gaunt, faded comedian who also ran around the place with the rosary around. If you're running around with the rosary around your neck, you've appropriated symbolic imagery from Catholicism, and you're definitely not Catholic. Behind the scenes, anyway, the financial scaffolding is transatlantic. Steve Bannon reminds us that there is a key patron. Ezra Levant of Rebel Media has continued to promote Robinson as a victim of state persecution. The former EDL associates and minor celebrities orbit him like moths to a flame, or perhaps like crows to a prophet. But the point is, Robinson is by far the most marketable and telegenic image of the far right. Robinson's post-prison media blitz has been curated through podcast appearances, social media bombast, and calculated ambiguity. Will he come to Epping or won't he? That certainty is the point. It keeps the base inflamed and the authorities guessing. And the problem here with Tommy Robinson is very similar to the problem with Nigel Farage. Both of these people come across as affable and laddish, and broadly speaking likeable, but they are what they promote and what they encourage is appalling. It is appalling, and it's not possible to say anything else. They are they are both on a journey to chaos or through chaos, and they are using chaos to catapult themselves to astonishing fame. But it is hollow, and they ought to know this. Robinson's post-prison media blitz has been curated through podcast appearances, social media bombast, calculated ambiguity. It's and there is precedent here. Oswald Mosley knew how to dress. The National Front had uniforms. Far-right figures had always grasped that theatre matters, that affability matters. But what's new is the digital style of seduction. Robinson doesn't just appeal to race, he appeals to an invented masculinity, some under siege from feminism, Muslims and rainbow flags, and he sells grievance as gospel. He wraps political aggression in piety. He talks of abortion, family values and the effeminacy of the modern church, as if misogyny now wears a crucifix. Tommy Robinson is not a saint, he's not a priest, he's not a prophet, but he is dangerous, because he knows how to wield symbolism, fear and faux martyrdom, because he's tapping into a growing globalized movement that fuses ultra-nationalism, anti-migrant rhetoric and pseudo-Christian revivalism. In Epping and beyond, he's not merely witnessing local protests. We are seeing a British iteration of a transatlantic radicalism that cloaks itself in crosses while praying for conflict. This is not the Christianity of forgiveness and grace. It's the Christianity of banners, borders and backlash. It's the Christianity of the crusade. Let's not be fooled by a beard and a Bible. A wolf in a cassock is still a wolf.